On podcast day, I talk to the most amazing guests. Today I went from quilt novels with Carol Dean Jones to quilts on wine labels with Mary Ellen Parsons for her winery. Then we skipped around and talked paper piecing and designing with the fabulous Sarah Sharp and her new book, which I'm going to show you. And then ending with a fabulous quilt project by Sarah Morris with her students. She's a school teacher, a math school teacher. I'm Pat Sloan, and recapping my podcast today. So Carol Dean Jones, you're going to hear us talk about her novels and find out what age she started writing. You might be surprised, pleasantly surprised. Mary Ellen Parsons has been making quilts for a very long time. Her story about how she sort of entered into quilting is hilarious. It's just like, wow. And how I found out about her. So you got to listen. Sarah Sharp is doing just the most interesting, to me anyway, paper piecing. Her designs are so unique, and I just was very intrigued, and her new book just goes very deep into how you can design your own, or how you can think through that whole process if you're interested in that, which I am, because I've not really done a lot of paper piecing design, just a little bit, very traditional blocks. So I was very intrigued and love seeing her work. Then Sarah Morris is a school teacher, 8th grade math teacher, and she told us all about this incredible project that she's doing with her students. You have got to listen to the podcast, and then of course there's a ton of prior podcasts. If you have not caught up with what I do there, you want to go ahead and download and listen. I've got links here so you can just listen to them right on your tablet, on your phone. Like you can take them with you when you're doing other things. If you're with your family, put in your earbuds and you can listen to me talk with my guests. This was show 399. That means next week is show 400. I've been doing this quite a long time, and I'm just really excited about show 400. I'm really excited about every show, but you get to sort of these big numbers, like all of a sudden it was creeping up, and I'm like, that's really neat. So I want to show you Sarah's Sharp's book. This is her book. And I'm going to give you a little peek inside because I want you to see the kind of things that she is doing. Really, this is a textbook. It is done so well. She did a little inscription for me. She talks, in the beginning about let me get to a page here. She's got a lot of, this is the front part. She has photos that share sort of the process. So that is all there, step by step. But what I really like is the next sections that go into drafting and the whole process behind thinking about, like she took the coneflower and she goes through how she designs with that, how she breaks it up and then starts, taking it into things that could actually be paper piece, because at some point you have to paper piece. I love her octopuses and how everything has incredible detail in it. Now she has one in the book here. Okay, this is so cool. This quilt here, this quilt is so cool. The Z's. It's a whole different way of thinking to do paper piecing. And there's like a pickle dish. I mentioned that on the show. And she gives you the patterns for all of these. But where are they? Oh, here it is. Her folksy friends. This octopus is less detailed than the one that she has as a single pattern, but I just love, we talked about her process and her designs and what she does to create these. So here you go. This is the book. I have a link to it. So if you are at all interested in paper piecing and how that works and what would be the thought to create maybe your own design that's unique or something you've been thinking about and you're like, how would I get that in there? Like even on her website, she had like these little ants that were like they were so, I mean, ants. I think that sounds like ants, but I love them. They're cute. She had one with little like daisies for the eyeballs. So I get very excited. I love meeting quilt makers. I love hearing their story and knowing what's going on behind the scenes and how they think. And we each bring our own work into whatever we do, including you as a quilt maker. So I want to show you a couple other things because I've got a sneak peek for my Merry and Bright block number 15. We then only have 2 more blocks and that project's done. And I will be, of course, having another Wednesday sew along, free Wednesday sew along. But before I give you the sneak peek, I want to tell you I did all the Splendid sampler blocks for this week that we assigned. My goal is to try to do that. I'm not sure I'll always master that, but we'll get at least one done each week. So remember, for our sew along, if you do one Splendid sampler block that we assigned from the book, during the rest of the sew the book, we have you can enter for the prizes that are going on. So I've gotten the curves done. Yes, and I gave you that. This is the one I picked. Remember I showed you which 2 different colorways, whether I had the red in the middle or the gold in the middle. I went with the red. A lot of you like that option. I showed you this or that on my Facebook group. I also did I think it's called Ticker Tape by Debbie Brown. Now, I wanted to make this very subtle, so I really had a lot of fun. And then I did a lot of pressing the seams open on this. I think that pressing the seams open is a pretty good deal. Of course, I had the hashtag love, which I showed you already. I already have that one. Then I did Estelle. Estelle and I spent a lot of time together. This is Joyce Beams for Thimble's Quilt Shop. Joyce's Estelle is a tribute to her mom. And remember I said I thought Estelle might wear blue. I also thought she might wear pink. So she's blue, has pink with some blue accents. But Estelle and I spent a lot of time together. So here's true confessions. I believe that sometimes it's worth taking things apart to get it right. And when you're doing tiny patchwork and you're maybe not on your A game because you're working late, that's what I was doing. I forgot to check sizes as I was going along. And so I took Estelle totally apart, like the rows, into the individual blocks, because there's pinwheels to the pinwheels and then these little 4 patches. So I took it down to pinwheels and 4 patches, I think 3 times. 3 times. Jack and I were dating quite a bit to get this taken out, Jack the seam ripper. But Estelle came out just about as perfect as I will be, which is not 100%, but I'm very happy. I starched the fabric first. You can see it sort of looks firm, like I'm holding it with one hand and it's staying like that. So I starched it, which helped, but I was manipulating this a lot, so it softened up quite a bit because I was taking it apart and putting it back together. But I decided it was worth it. Doing a Splendid sampler, 100 blocks of very unique blocks, for me is a journey. And even though I'm going to have a fast journey because I want a goal of trying to finish by the time we finish the book, having done all the blocks, I still want to do it nice. I want to have it as beautiful as I can make it. And I think that if you feel that way and you have to take a block apart, or you have to take a seam out, or you have to redo something, that is part of the journey. It is not something wrong. It's not something to look down on. It's part of the journey. And if you're too tired, sometimes you just need to put it away and fix it tomorrow. That's just the way it is. And I don't count how much time, I don't count how many pieces. I just enjoy the journey. I enjoy the stories the designers gave us for their blocks for the Splendid sampler. So if you are not familiar with that book, that is this one. This is what we're sewing right now, the Splendid Sampler 2. So excited. So excited that I kept up because it's not going to be as easy for the next few weeks for me to keep up, but I'm going to get at least one done each week and then sort of work back and get those filled in as fast as I can. And then hopefully from December on through Sew the Book, I'll be on track. Okay. I want you to listen to my podcast. If you are new to podcasts, it is a recording of a show. It's an hour long. And my show is with American Patchwork and Quilting Magazine and sponsored by Moda Fabrics. So I am ever grateful to these business partners to make my podcast happen. And I'm in 8 years of shows, 400 shows. So thanks for listening. I'll see you online.